is completely natural. For example, me playing on the piano and just improvising, and people tell me, wow, that brought me to tears. And I'm thinking, but I'm just fiddling a little bit. Yeah. So it's very easy not to see our own talents.
Yeah.
So finding it or being found by it.
Or being open, just
yeah, but just do what you're already doing and enjoy that and let it, don't think too much about it, just let it happen as it happens.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, but even wanting to be spontaneous is not that spontaneous.
No. But,
Don't Worry, Be Happy is this great song by Bobby McFerrin, who's a great human being, by the way. At least I don't know him personally, but if you see him sing, that makes my heart sing. But I think he's very right. I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. We want to find that holy grail, failing to see that we are the holy grail.
Yeah.
That's what we are. So whether I make beautiful music or not, whether I inspire just one person or whether I inspire 1 million people, that doesn't matter. We're still this living miracle, and it's so easy to stop failing to see that because we feel that only if we achieve something we're good enough.
Yeah.
The truth is we are good enough always. There's no way we could ever not be good enough.
Yeah, beautifully said. Thank you very much, Joris, and we're gonna follow you with all the things you do.
Thank you.
For a third time, talking to my dear friend Vera. Nice to see you again. Our first time in English.
Yes, with you.
Yeah. Before the interview, we talked about how talking in another language brings you as a human being into a different kind of flow. Is that what you experience also?
Yes, I really love learning English. I experience it as like tuning into a whole new culture, whole new kind of people. And I think language is shows the soul of a country, the soul of people. And English has 3 or 4 times more words than the Dutch language. So it is far more fine-tuned, I think, than Dutch. And when I see the Dutch people, there are a lot of Dutch people who say, "Oh, act normal. It is as it is." And I think you can describe feelings better in English. That's my expertise, so that's why I learned English.
Yeah. You've been to other countries than Netherlands to talk about this. Do people ask different questions than in different countries?
No, I'm just at the beginning, so I haven't given any lectures yet. I've scheduled some in France and in England. So I don't know yet, actually.
No.
But I noticed on my Facebook quotes and the amount of likes that in the Netherlands I can confront people more than in the English-speaking countries. Yes, it seems like they love to hear more a quote like "Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
We are one soul. It's all about love." And from my point of view, it is all about love, and we are one soul. But if we act as we always did, nothing changes. Yeah. So sometimes you have to confront people to give them insights. So and the coin can flip to other kinds of behavior and other kinds of beliefs, and therefore other kind of life. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So why do we suffer, Vera?
Why do we suffer? That's a different question. I have to. Why do people suffer? People make if you walk through life and things happen, people think that things overcome them, and they don't know that they attracted things of life. So the things we attract in life are valuable lessons and give us valuable insights about the alignment with our true being. Whether it's positive or negative, it gives information. The way we feel about it gives information. But if people say it overcomes me and I'm a victim of, if you feel a victim, you suffer.
Yeah.
So the definition of suffering is you feel a victim of something outside of yourself.
Yeah. Something hurts me, something gets in the way of me.
Yes.
People oppose me, people stand in the way.
Yes. So that's duality.
Yeah.
It's divided from the inside of everything is one, and I'm the center of my life, and I send out energy and I attract energy. So that's why this path is so important to understand, that on different levels there's just oneness, and duality is also oneness, because duality is me and my projections.
Yeah.
And my projection is also me, so that's also one. So if you are a victim, you suffer, and you are a victim only if you are divided from yourself and you think there's something else that's hurting you, whether it's a person or a circumstance.
Yeah. So let's say my neighbor always at 6 o'clock in the morning starts drilling holes into the wall.
Yes.
I can feel victimized because I wanted to sleep until 10, and at 6 I'm sitting up in my bed because of that lousy neighbor who...
Yes. And if you're not careful, you're going to think, oh, the neighbor is doing it on purpose to nag me.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes.
I think that stupid neighbor again. He knows I wanted to sleep until 10, and now he starts drilling holes again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then you make it personal, and you are more divided from yourself when you make things personal.
Yeah.
A me or a day. Or
Is there anything personal that happens?
then I have to first explain 3 levels of ourselves. On the personal level, yes, of course, things are personal, but also not. We walk through life as a person, as a human being. That's how consciousness, how we, as consciousness, explore things in this reality as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So we are the same consciousness as a cat or a tree,
Mm-hmm.
but in our case, consciousness shows itself as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So on this level, this physical level, we are personal. And there's a me personal person Vera, and there's a person Patrick. Okay? So of course, on this level, there are things personal. But we are the midpoint of our personal life. So if we are looking through our perspective, we can. I see Patrick in a purple sweater, and I can describe you as a certain human being,
Mm-hmm.
but someone else would describe you very different because they look through different glasses. So, you become personal because I look through a personal glass.
You make a person out of me.
Yes. And I can only perceive you on a personal level,
Mm-hmm.
but how I perceive you says more about me than about you.
Yeah.
So everything I see in this physical world is very personal because of my personal glasses. Okay? So on the second level, we can call it soul level. That's more the non-physical level. We have a different way of looking through things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more energetically. The non-physical self is energetically. On this level, we are all connected to each other. So on this level, we are connected. So, and it's not conscious from your personal level, but intuitively,
Yeah.
when I changed, the other changes, and my circumstances changes. It's very intuitive level.
Yeah.
And on a third level, and actually it's the other way around because the physical level is the last level, we are really one soul, one consciousness. So there's nothing divided anymore, nothing personal anymore, nothing me soul, your soul. There's just one consciousness, one potential energy that is put into form.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So on that level, nothing is personal.
No.
Nothing.
And maybe the mistake is that when I hear of Advaita, non-duality,
Yes.
I forget about the first and the second level.
Yes.
I automatically go to the third level and think, well, that's relaxed.
Exactly.
Everything happens according to the cosmic plan. Everybody is one. No dividing. What's the problem with that? With skipping the first two levels?
Well, let's first not tune into the problem, because that's a very beautiful state of being. So if you awake, spiritual awaken, you get the insight of, wow, we are one consciousness. I am that consciousness, and I can breathe out and relax.
Yeah, it's very relaxing.
It is. There's no have to anymore. There's nothing wrong. Everything is okay. So it's a state of non-focus, a relaxing state of non-focus. And in this state of non-focus, we are connected to the overall consciousness, and we are being inspired through this field of knowing. But as we are human beings with a physical body, and here to live a physical life, and here to express ourselves as human beings, as consciousness, with the help of our human tools and human consciousness and human belief system, we want to manifest things. In this reality we live in, things want to become material. That is, this reality, this three-dimensional reality, he wants to be, things become physical, material. So we need to go out of non-focus and go into focus, and our minds help us with that, and we make things material. So if you would stay in a state of non-focus, you don't attract money anymore, and your life says, well, you don't want to eat anymore, and you know.
Like Ramana Maharshi, when he was 12 years old, he just lay on the floor, bugs started eating at his feet, and he had to come back into...
You have to come back.
Yeah.
You have to come back. Your body really is going to vegetate if you're staying in that focus, because the body resonates between a frequency of 100 and 500 hertz. So it needs to be fed also with this kind of hertz.
Yeah. A question in Advaita that always inspires me and always keeps me going doing these interviews and stuff is, am I the doer of the things that are being done? Or are things just happening through me? Yes,
that depends on from what layer do you ask this question. So if someone sits in front of me and asks this question and is really very identified with all his stories and his human body, then I would say you are not the doer. If someone really knows, I'm not a person, I'm consciousness itself, and I say, yes, you are the doer.
So it's kind of like a tool, or...
It is you, everything is you. So it depends on from what state you are asking this question. The person itself is not a doer. But it is very important, because on the personal level, there is the belief system. And you, as a soul, the second level, cannot go around this tool. Because we need a belief system to manifest. So soul can only go through the manifested system, the belief system. So you as a person is very important, because on a personal level we make things mine. So we make the thoughts come by, and we pick the thoughts, we believe they are true for me. And that's how a belief is being formed. And this belief is needed to manifest. Whether if it's a good belief or a bad belief, for what you want to express yourself in as soul, is reflected in the emotions. So if you meet something in the outer world, and your emotions contract, they're giving you information whether if what you believed of this situation is aligned with who you really are. And who you really are, I will define myself again. Consciousness itself, the source itself, it doesn't matter for the source whether you go left or right, it doesn't matter. But the first, your first steps into this world was as a soul, as a non-physical body, and this body has a certain sound, a certain feeling, a certain vibration. Yes, a very unique vibration. So, for example, if the essence of someone, of this non-physical body, is like a calming tree, it doesn't matter whether he does the dishes or he works as an assistant or whatever. His energy relaxes you. So he wants to express himself, of her or herself, let him say it's him, as loyal to the essence that he is. So on a personal level, it would be good if he does something like, well, maybe being a coach, a trauma coach or something.
Mm-hmm.
So the client can come to rest. That would be a nice fit, okay? So if this person thinks he needs money and he's going to be a day trader or something, mm-hmm. then his emotions would tell him, "Oh, this is crazy. Oh, this is not
for
me."
You
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what emotions do. They tell you whether if what you're doing or thinking about what you're doing
is the right path.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're not the enemy, emotions.
Emotions are not the enemy. No. At this moment, I'm writing an encyclopedia of emotions, and it's very nice to do. I'm describing 300 emotions in Dutch. I think there are more in English. Mm-hmm. And what they are telling you. And I was very busy with it. And then one morning, I woke up and I got insight in the entire image, in the entire. Everything was certainly very clear, and even the worst emotions are giving us a positive message. So, and there are a lot of emotions are combinations of basic emotions. So, if now I have an emotion, I know exactly what I, on a deeper level, are telling me on a personal level, and it is very interesting. So interesting.
And does it matter how often an emotion comes back, or is one time enough?
Depending on how awake you are and if you want to listen. So emotions come back to say to you, "You haven't seen me yet. You haven't seen me yet." Mm-hmm. So wake up.
Yeah.
You have to listen to me. I'm telling you again. And your emotional system is very patient. It will tell you it 30 times if needed. So it comes back. Yes, you haven't heard the message. Yeah.
And let's say I never listen to my emotions. Could it go to a further level? Can the body get very tense, or what's the next step?
Yes, of course. It's. I think a lot of men. Well, in the Netherlands, they have. In this period, you may feel as a man, but I think there are a lot of countries, men aren't allowed to feel. Mm-hmm. And so if you ignore your emotions, yes, you get physical problems, diseases.
Cancer, maybe?
Yes, maybe cancer.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of emotion it is.
And
so if you don't listen, you have to feel.
You're talking about feeling. I think men are always good in expressing their emotions.
Not good, yeah.
Men. That's when I look at my own life. I never feel, and then it gets too much, and then I start smashing with doors or throwing things around, and
Yes.
then everything comes out at once or something like that.
Yes.
And someone told me that, well, that's not feeling, that's just expressing the emotion. What's the difference between feeling
the difference is that mind knows just two ways of dealing with emotions. Either we suppress it or we act it out.
Yeah,
so hearing your story, you first suppress it.
Yeah, for a long time.
Until it's too difficult to suppress it, or something triggers you, and then you act it out. Both ways of dealing with it is fleeing from really feeling. It is not wanting to deal with it. So there's a third way, and that is knowing you are consciousness itself, knowing that you are the observer and not the victim of an emotion, and just observe how this emotion as an energy flows through your system. And that if you try that sometimes, you notice that an energy, an emotion is just an energy, just a flow of energy. So it starts and it ends. It comes by and it goes away again. So if you are willing to feel and to observe the feeling, not to become the feeling, but observe the feeling, it is really just a stream through you. But, as I said earlier, you can also look at why this emotion was coming, because an emotion is almost always coming after believing something. So if you have an emotion, you know, I believed something. So the emotion, I transform the emotion by willing to feel it, and I look through the story I believed earlier.
Yeah.
And then you investigate this belief. Is it really true?
Yeah.
Apparently not, because my emotion is contracting.
So let's say I think my girlfriend went out sleeping with some other guy this weekend when she was away. When I think about it, I get this knot in my stomach. It feels like someone punched me in the belly. I don't know for sure if she cheated on me. What is the right way to deal with a thought like that, with an emotion like that?
First of all, know that it is your emotion and not hers. So I can imagine that someone in this circumstance want to take revenge, want to know the truth, and acting it and play the drama with her. So keep it to yourself and just investigate, what was it? What kind of knot was it? Was it a jealousy knot? Was it anger? Was it sadness?
Yeah,
what
fear.
Kind of emotion? Fear?
Yeah, fear of losing her. Yeah.
Yes. So fear is always telling you that you put something outside of yourself. So fear only comes up if you are looking from a divided glass. So if you lay things outside of yourself. So there's a belief that she is in some way important for your existence.
Yeah, she completes me.
Yes.
I need her.
You think that she completes you.
Yeah.
You think you need her. Okay?
Yeah, it's not the case.
That's not the case?
Well, I'm asking, that's most love relations, you think you need each other.
Yes. So what I find the beautiful side of Advaita Vedanta is, and that is certainly true, that in fact you don't need anybody, because you are love itself. You are complete from that perspective. But as a person, you can need some completion, because the personal isn't all rounded. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you have to, if you know how creation works, you know that you send out what is needed, because the normal way of energy is it wants to be in harmony. So there's a lack of something in your life, not that you think there's a lack, but there's really a lack of something. I, for example, are very enthusiastic, butterfly kind of energy, so I need someone who is very down to earth and calm, So, and I can attract a man for that, but I can also attract a dog for that. Or I can also acknowledge that I need to go to the forest more often.
Yeah.
You know? It is just your mind that says, I need her. Specifically her. So you made it personal. What you need always comes into your life and you have to trust that. You have to know for sure that that's the case. And if these circumstances are in your life, maybe she doesn't fit 100% anymore for the purpose that she came into your life.
Yeah. So that's why love relations are not meant to last forever.
No. Love relations are functional. Functional for your needs at this present moment. So there is a prince on a white horse, but only just for now.
Yeah.
And how long he will be in your life, or she, depends on if you grow together, on what core need he or she comes into your life, what functions she has.
Yeah. So emotions can be labeled from now on as our friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a feedback system. It gives you information.
Yeah, little helpers.
Yes.
Yeah. Other things we as people experience is stress.
Yes.
Why am I stressed?
Stress that also needs to look closer. What kind of stress? Huh? Are you in haste, or do you feel overloaded? There's all kinds of stress. Huh? Mm-hmm. So we want to be more specific in the kind of stress. Yeah. So we have stress out of fear because we think we have to do something and think we are not up to that. Then fear again tells us we are placing something outside of ourselves. But if we, for example, are overloaded, we feel resentment towards work or towards our boss. Yeah. And resentment always is telling us about, look carefully about your boundaries. Where are your boundaries? Did you cross them? Did you? Mm-hmm. So it's the moment you feel resentment, that's your border. So you
someone crossed it, or maybe you crossed it?
Yes, always yourself. Always you let someone cross your border.
Okay, yeah.
You don't cross it. Someone else don't cross it, you let them.
Yeah.
So there are two different ways of becoming stressed, out of fear or out of resentment. Yeah. And that's very important. So
first make the
distinguish whether it's fear or resentment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And after that, I know it's resentment. Yes. I have to start putting boundaries.
Let me tell you first about the phases of changing. So the first phase is we don't even know there's something inside of us that became not on the surface yet. It has not come to the surface yet. Then there's a confrontation in the outside world, and we are going to recognize that we are a bit stressed. Okay, so then we are going to investigate it. For example, by exploring this emotion. Okay, yes, I felt boundaries, but I didn't. I ignored them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to investigate it, and then we are going to acknowledge it. Yes, that is true. I have done that. Then we are going to accept it. Acceptance is the point of your base point. But if you don't accept things, and I mean not the overload of work, I meant that you have boundaries. You accept that you have boundaries. Yeah. You are a human being, and you have maybe a delicate system. Everybody's different, so you have to accept and acknowledge this.
That you're not up to this, or that it's too much for someone like you. Not the right job, too much work.
Yes. Yeah. So that's acknowledgement and acceptance, and then the coin can flip, and you can really change. So you need confrontation, you need insight, investigation, and acknowledgement and acceptance.
And again, if you're not willing to listen to the system that says enough is enough.
Yes.
For me, the example is I played records in discotheques and on parties and so on, and at the last few times I did that, the whole day my system was telling me, stop with this. It is too much. But then I thought, but it's this money I can earn. Yes. and there are 1,000 people who start shouting your name. So vanity came in, but at a certain point I couldn't. It was enough.
Yes.
And the system told me there's nobody in the outer world. That's what I blamed the outer world. I said, why didn't someone tell me that they could see at me that it was not the right thing for me? But
well, then you have a choice. Okay, then you can acknowledge that it is too much for this moment in your development at this moment. That doesn't mean it would be also too much in 2 months. It is just telling you now it's
right
enough.
Now. Yeah.
So you can investigate why does my system react the way it reacted.
Yeah. So not immediately saying, well, this is the last time, I'm never going to do it again.
Well, sometimes you need such a decision.
But take your time, that's what you said.
And feel, if you make an appointment to do something, if you could do it now. Or what things do you need to do it, and that's okay for you.
But still, this personal thing, we haven't talked about ego. For me, ego is like that voice in my head who ignores the system, who is saying, stop doing this, it's wearing you out. But the ego says, well, your name is going to be on a poster, and people are going to love you after you played the records, and you get another booking, and that's still, for me, the struggle inside, between what the system is telling me, the body, and what the ego is telling me.
Well, acknowledge that you are 3 levels of yourself. So you have the pure consciousness, you have an essence, a blueprint, who maybe needs more time alone, who needs more rest. And there's a personal level who likes attention.
Wants to achieve things.
Yes, and that is also okay. That is also okay. It would be not okay if you just wanted the attention and ignored all the rest.
Yeah.
But if you acknowledge it and you make arrangements for it, it is okay. Yeah. You like the attention, it is okay. But if your system says, well, attention, that's nice, but the system doesn't like it, you have to acknowledge that you have to let go of the attention. And if you're looking from the point of view of oneness, and you don't make things personal, okay, I loved it, I liked it, but now it's over. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's not who I am. It was a nice period.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people who are not spiritual paths. They say, I cannot comb my hair anymore and wear a nice dress, and because that's all vanity. We have to live sober and give away all the money because money is
shave my hair.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not the case.
That's not needed.
Yeah.
It's just enjoy it while it lasts, but don't attach to it.
Yeah. Because now you're the popular singer or entertainer, or you're the big boss of the company, but next week
it could be all over. So enjoy it and see it as a temporal thing.
Yeah. That's a good advice. There's a teacher who recently passed away, Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Yes.
He says a lot of good things, but he once said, "You teach people how to treat you." How do I teach people how to treat me?
Yeah, well, actually...
or are you not... you say
that's a kind of indirect teaching, I think. Because it is... well, for example, take a dog.
Dog.
Yes, if you are not in the mood, the dog can play with you, play you out. He takes over control. Okay, so if you are really the boss and take charge, he's following. That's the way you teach the dog. I'm not saying now you must follow and now you can. You're not teaching them like we as human beings teach. We write on a board and we give. You have to learn that, and this is how it works. With your energy, you teach other people. So if your energy says, I'm not worth it. You can take me. You can make advantage of me.
Yeah.
You teach people that they can take
Yeah.
advantage of me.
Yeah.
Yes, of course I will help. Of course I will help. Because my mother said I have always to be friendly to other people.
help,
So you teach people. You also see that with children.
Yeah.
And more people. You have to go to them. He always helps.
Yeah.
So you teach us with your energy. They can always get something from you.
Yeah.
But the moment you send out, well, this is my daughter. I like you very much, but I also have my own life.
Yeah.
They know, okay, we can have a good time with them. But I cannot ask. Now, of course, I don't ask him. No, he's no.
Yeah. But then people say to you, well, you have changed. You were always this friendly guy who I just had to call, and you came and cut the grass and did my dishes and.
Yes. So be it. So the moment you feel emotional contraction, they say I've changed. That means they don't like me anymore.
Don't love me, yeah.
That is your problem.
Yeah.
They don't say if you are changed. What do they mean? If they don't like it, that's their problem. If you get an emotional contraction, it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
So you investigate.
Yeah.
So you are not 100% okay with you being changed.
Yeah.
So there's non-acceptance still about of who you are.
Yeah. Oprah Winfrey once talked about the disease to please.
Yes.
That was a wake-up call for me. I got the example from my mother. My mother was always taking care of everybody, forgetting about herself. So you think being a lovely guy or being some kind guy is always thinking about pleasing the other one.
Yes.
What's the problem with the disease to please?
Well, for example, there are a lot of things wrong with pleasing. Let me start with ignoring your own needs and your own boundaries. And it is in the first place, it's divided because you have to please another being above yourself.
Yeah.
So it's divided in its essence. Well,
is it wrong to help other people? No.
No, of course it's not wrong, but it is so dishonest. Pleasing has
A need. It has a
no,
need.
it has a mask over it. A lot of people who please and if you know the definition of pleasing, it is doing for something else because you want to be loved.
Yeah, you want something back.
So it's not genuine. You want something back. Yeah. So it's far more genuine and clear for someone else if you say no. And if you say yes and it doesn't feel good and you say no on the last moment and you know and the need for love, the disease please is suffering from the need of being loved or acknowledged or recognized by someone else. So why isn't it enough that you know that you are fine the way you are? Why isn't that enough? Apparently because you don't believe it's enough.
Yeah. You have to prove it that you're okay.
Yes, apparently you don't believe that you are okay as you are.
Yeah.
So you need someone else to say it.
Yeah.
And you ignore yourself even more by manipulating with pleasing.
Yeah.
So it would be more honest, and it's far more easy for someone else if they know I can ask him because he says no if it's not okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel if it's okay. It makes it complex.
Yeah.
Because he's always so nice, and that well, no one can be so generous always.
Yeah.
So I have to be very careful if I ask him something, because maybe he doesn't like it, but I don't know. He doesn't say it.
Yeah.
That's where all children are suffering from with our parents and our teachers. They feel if you're saying no, but they say yes. or the other way around.
So they think that that's not good, that's corrupt.
And it makes so much confusion.
Yeah, for the children.
For the children.
Because they feel that this is not right.
No, and then we grow older and we still are pleasing and manipulated, and we are, in the meantime, we learned the game of manipulating.
Yeah.
So
but how
all
come,
grown-ups are manipulating each other.
Yeah, but how come we love this TV series House of Cards by I don't know if you know
Yes.
by a politician who is manipulating all the time to get to the biggest chair.
But do you like it? If I watch this series, I know there's a voice inside of me that likes to puzzle. He likes, my mind likes to figure out why he's doing it and why they don't say it. So you have to,
yeah, it gives your mind something to do.
If they always said how it was, it's not nice to watch.
But still, when I watch that, I think, oh man, this is a master manipulator, this man.
Yes.
And
that's the most interesting roles in the series.
So there is something inside us that loves to manipulate things and try to force an outcome that feeds our needs.
No, I don't think they like to manipulate. As we watch House of Cards, we like to. I speak for myself. It is nice to figure out the truth.
Yeah.
But if you are manipulated, I don't think it's because we like manipulating, but because we are in need. We think we are in need, and we don't know another way than manipulate.
Yeah. But still, in a lot of love relationships, manipulating is going on all the time.
Yes.
I know that you get very irritated when I don't clean out the garbage can, but yesterday you didn't wash my socks, so today I'm going to get back at you and not clean the garbage can.
Yes, that's how we divide it, yes. Yes, so I always say, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. So if I'm irritated, if he didn't do the garbage, I have to look into myself. Why am I feeling irritated right now? Irritation, emotion irritation, it tells you that you are have trouble with centering your energy. It slips away. It slips away. So you can better look at how do I center my energy again than act this emotion out on my partner.
Yeah.
And project it into the garbage instead of where it belongs by gathering energy.
Yeah. So when do you know if a love relationship has come to the natural end?
To the natural end.
What are signs or?
Yes, the difficult thing in that is we feel attached to someone, and we have to let go of our dreams and hopes and images of the future, and that hurts. That always hurts. So sadness tells us we want to hold on to beliefs, but we have to let them go. That's why it hurts. We hold on to something, we have to let go. That's why it hurts. If the moment that your eyes are opening for that, what you thought you needed from this person and what you thought this person provided, if you see that in fact they don't really meet you in that need, that's the moment that you are, become awake for the truth.
Yeah.
Damn. Yes.
No, it's not going to work anymore.
No, she will never provide me in that what I thought I needed from her.
But then hope comes around, and hope tells me, it will be better when she gets a new job, because the job is irritating her, or it will be better when I get less work.
Yes. So just look at the present energy between you. And don't look further and don't look back. Just look at the energy and what you are giving each other at this moment. maybe it's not inspiration anymore or feed, emotional feed. Maybe it is challenge. Maybe it is lessons. So you can just give yourself 100% to what life provides you. And if she provides you at this moment the challenge of letting go or letting free, or the challenge of feeling acknowledgement for yourself inside of you, then you face those lessons. And maybe you will change. Maybe your energy will change if you take that lesson, and maybe
things turn around.
Maybe things turn around, maybe not.
Yeah.
But if you take this lesson, because this is what she provides at this moment, and you take the lesson, and after it is transformed, you can see more clearly if she still fits or not.
Yeah. That's often the case after the breakup. Very sad, and then about a year later, you think, what was I telling myself?
Yes.
Who was fooling who?
Yes.
Just not to feel the pain of leaving someone or getting left alone, or
yes.
Yeah. Relationships are often like you have this basket, and there's I don't know the English word, but there's something on top of it that keeps down all the old pain, emotions. And
Yeah.
I don't want to feel them. Don't leave me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it helps if you know what emotions telling you. So sadness is you wanna hold something, you have to let go. Beliefs, hopes, expectations.
Yeah. And is a man or a woman made to live alone the rest of their life?
No, I think we are a group animal. But that doesn't mean that the relationships, the present relationship, the concept of relationship is healthy for us. The concept of relationship is about thinking the same about life, and building a life together. It is a bit material based. So if you look deeper and you see that you attract some kind of people as energies, you can see that this energy is combining and intertwining, and it's awakening something that you didn't know of yourself. Okay, so that is a commitment. That is coming together. But relationship is about physically living together, about earning a life and pay for a house and raise children. So,
practical.
Yes, so the concept relationship is very practical. So things are far more about connecting to people, and it doesn't have to be one. You know, we can connect with friends or family or animals, or we can have all kinds of connections.
Yeah.
And they all provide something we need at this moment. And if you want to stay longer together, okay, you would step into a concept of relationship. But has to be that concept always in one house? Or can you live in two houses?
Yeah.
Does it fit better your needs at this moment? Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Or sleep in separate beds.
Yes.
Relationship.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
Because the intertwined energy always becomes a we energy, and it is so fulfilling to have your own space and your own energy. I love to sleep alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that your relationship is about to.
Of course not.
No, that's what people think. Oh, then the end. That's the beginning of the end when you start sleeping alone.
No, of course not. No. It is actually far more a party if you look each other up.
Yeah.
If you that's that's Dutch grammar.
No, I know
grammar, but if you visit each other,
yeah. If you then sleep together, it's
and they
special
say,
again.
"Oh, I want to be with you."
Yeah.
That is far more better than sleeping always together.
Yeah. So you talk a lot about relationships when you're talking to people. Is that the main thing that comes up, or
I talk a lot about relationship if people ask it, and a lot of people are wrestling with relationship. Yes, but well, maybe 25% of the time I speak about relationships. Yes.
Is there more women or men at your talks?
Mostly women, but that's always in this area. But I think 25% are men.
And are they dragged along by their wife, or?
I don't think so, because when I look at them, they are with friends or alone. I don't think they're dragged.
You brought a copy of your English version of your book.
Yes, that's the English version of Effortlessly Being Yourself.
And
it's a guide. This is meant for people who really identify themselves with stories. So it drags you out of your personal making mode into the oneness mode. So this is the first phase of awakening. It's a step-by-step guide of dragging you out of this third zone into the oneness zone. And after that, it would be nice if you go back to life again. So this is very helpful for people who want to step out of the identifying. Yes.
Yeah. Awakening.
Effortlessly being yourself.
And awakening in a new consciousness perspective.
Yes.
Is the book available for people who are watching this in a foreign country to order, or?
Yes, you can order it on Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Yes, just
UK. Yeah.
Yes.
And are there
Canada.
Are there maybe practices inside the book you can do?
Yes, there are also practices. It has 4 parts. The relationship with yourself, the relationship with the other, the relationship with your physical body and the manifest, and the relationship with your service to the field of unity. So your purpose in life. Mm-hmm. And there are a few exercises to do in it. Yes, and it's very simply written, so everybody understands it. And it has been a bestseller in the Netherlands.
Oh, great!
So people say to me, after reading 2/3 of the book, wow, life looks really different. Yes.
That's a good effect.
Yes, that's nice.
We have a couple more minutes. I want to ask you about this purpose thing.
Yes.
Can it be that I have more purposes in life, or is it just one purpose?
Yes, you can have more purposes if you define it as the definition of something we do in the physical life. So I have to become a school teacher, and you see that as a purpose. That is not what I meant with purpose. So your purpose is expressing the energy that you are. So earlier we talked about a man who is a calm tree. Okay, he can manifest this purpose into being a school teacher, being a coach, being a father, being a friend. That can always be, all 4 of this manifestation can be a purpose. So the physical purpose depends on your development and your enthusiasm, what you like to do. It doesn't matter when you are knitting a sweater. If that's what you like to do most, I'm for sure, if you are a calm tree, if someone wears the sweater, he will be calm.
Yeah, the energy will get into the knitting.
Yes.
Yeah. So we bring our own kind of flavor into the things we manifest.
Yes, yes. So, and you are always looking for a form that is of service to your essential energy, not the other way around. So the form serves your energy. Mm-hmm. You are not serving the form.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so to translate that, the job I choose or the job I go to?
Yes, serves you as essence.
Yeah.
And you as essence do not serve the job.
Yeah.
You are more important, your energy is more important.
Yeah.
I can give a lecture, I can write a book, I can whatever. My energy, my awakening energy, that is what I provide.
What, for example, could you not do? What have you tried that you thought, oh no, that's not me?
Organize.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And isn't there a voice in your head that says, Vera, you have to get better at organizing? come on, let's do a 3-day course.
No, there's not a voice that says I have to be better with it. Sometimes there's a voice, I don't have money for an employee, so I have to do it myself. I don't like it. Would you like to do it for me? Because I hate it and I cannot do it. And I spill my energy by doing it. Because that's not my purpose, that's not who I am. I have to write books, I have to be creative.
Yeah. So maybe that's a good conclusion of this interview. When you hate things, or when you just don't feel like doing things again and again and again.
Yes, hating is resentment. Resentment says you have to acknowledge your borders.
Yeah.
It is not, you cross your own border.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then just be practical and say, I'm not good at filling in these tax papers.
Exactly.
Call someone who feels like doing this because that's his purpose or her purpose.
Yes, and if everybody would do what he loves to do most, there's a job for everyone.
Yeah.
So I once had a house cleaner in my house and she hated doing it. I could not watch it.
You feel it. Yeah.
Yes, and of course I immediately fired her.
Yeah.
She did the job very well, but she hated it.
Yeah. You feel that also in a restaurant when someone is waiting at your table or bringing the food with his mouth.
Yes, of course. And the most beautiful thing would be if we would acknowledge every job with the same payment.
Yeah, yeah.
So a garbage man. A few days ago, the garbage man came through our house and he loved his job, and it was such a nice meeting.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, a garbage man who really loves his work.
Yeah.
It is possible, you know.
Then we say he's perfect at his place. It's the right place, the right time. Yeah. You
so he actually, I think he deserves the same amount of money as someone else if he does his job with such much passion and so much the same amount of effort.
Yeah. He brings love into what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you taste it also when someone makes the dinner with love, or.
And I think 80% of people don't like their jobs.
So that results in resentment,
a stress, a sickness. Yes.
And also not good. And when you call a call center and you get someone on the phone who just does that for the money.
No, of course not. And he would not attract any customers also.
No.
So if you put someone on the place he belongs, you gain much more success in your company.
Yeah. But you could say that the world or the people around you signal back at you if you are still if you're at the right place.
Yes.
When you start getting arguments all the time with your colleagues.
No, the people don't mirror you. You see them through a certain glass. Mm-hmm. So if they look like this, it can be they're just thinking about something, and you interpret it as like, oh, they're disapproving my work. Yeah. So your glass is reflecting you.
Yeah. So only myself. I can tell myself if I'm at the right place at the right time with the work or the relationship or...
Yeah, through your emotions. Your emotions are telling you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't wait for your boss to come to you and say, well, Patrick, you've been here for 20 years. Are you still loving your job?
Yes.
You know, I can remember I had a job once when I walked to the door. I said to myself in my head, here we go again.
Yes.
Well, that was a
good start.
Yeah, good stuff to know that maybe I should go to my boss and say, well, I've done this job for a lot of years, but...
Yes, but it's normal that it takes some time struggling, because our minds are programmed to manifest and to hold things. So you hold on to ideas. And that's the difficulty of our mind system. So if your energy system is saying you have to go that way, we need to let go of these beliefs, and that sometimes hurts and needs some process.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just need to take some time.
Yes. Process it.
Yeah. Okay, Vera, it was a nice talk. When people want to get out and reach you, the book, you can hold it up once again. You also have a Dutch website. Is there also an English there?
There's also an English website, verahelleman.com or .uk, co.uk. Well, And that's an English website with English events and English, also an online course. And
you are open to visit other countries.
Yes, and I that's also nice to say. I've scheduled a widescreen gathering. So I'm on a wide screen. You can host a meeting and even collect money for it if you like it. And you can put your webcam on your laptop, and you project me on the screen, and you can ask questions by talking into the webcam.
Okay.
So your face will be full screen if you talk. So it would be a very nice and interactive event, I think.
Yeah.
And worldwide access.
And when is that going to happen?
29th May.
Okay.
I think.
And maybe sometime after that when it was a success.
Of
okay.
course.
Thank you for coming here, Vera, in this nice talk. Thank you.
Thank you too.
A new edition of Advaita TV, an interview with Michiel Slechten in Zwolle. I have some information here about Michiel in his book, At Ease at the Well, Praxis of the Natural State. You work as a teacher in natural meditation. Michiel gives conscious therapy in his hometown here where we are, Zwolle, in the Netherlands. Awareness of direct experience is his teaching. Natural meditation is self-realization as praxis. His teaching is simple and profound, and in line with the non-dual Dzogchen teachings from Tibet, known as the praxis of the natural state. The focus is on realizing our natural state of oneness and perfection. After 6 years of meditation practice integrated into everyday living, Michiel awoke in 1995 to his true nature. With the help of a Dzogchen teacher, maybe you can say his name again because it's quite difficult for me.
Yeah, it's Lopon Tenzin Namdak.
Okay. He is also the teacher of the Dalai Lama.
Mm-hmm. Has been, yeah.
Has been.
Yeah.
Michiel followed intensely Byron Katie, Eckhart Tolle and Rinpoche. Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
After more than 20 years of realization, the e-book At Ease at the Well was published. Michiel Slechten has a clear and poetic way of writing and encourage you direct to experience what is written. Michiel is open for a Skype consultation based on donations, and his teachings are recorded and can be found at his website michielslechten.nl. We'll put a link under this interview. Michiel, thanks for having me, and thanks for this introduction, so everyone knows who you are. 1995. Can you remember anything about that time, that place? Where were you, and what happened?
Yeah, I was in the room where the Lopon Tenzin Namdak gave his teachings about the natural state. And I had praxis meditation for 6 years in different forms, and what he was expressing about the natural state, that's my experience. I thought that man is talking about what is what I feel and what I hear and what I. So. It's very nice as when the teaching is understood by the mind. Mm-hmm. Just when you recognize what somebody is saying in your own experience.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in my life that I heard someone speaking about self-realization, enlightenment, the natural state of being.
Yeah. And where were you? Was that in Holland, or what was that in the foreign country where you were at that time?
That was in Holland.
Okay,
yeah.
you came to Holland.
Yeah, yeah. A few years he has given teachings in Zwolle.
Yeah.
Of in Zwolle? No, not in Zwolle. In Amsterdam. Yeah.
And what was it that draw you to him? There were more teachers at that time, I believe. Why especially him?
Yeah. I has become curious about the Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah.
So I read some books, and I find the Dzogchen teaching very attractive.
Because
it's you can compare it with Advaita. It is the Advaita from the
Buddhists.
from the Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah, yeah.
And no, I've really drawn to that, and I had made a choice between the Dzogchen teachings from the Dalai Lama Buddhism or the Dzogchen teachings from the Bön Buddhism. There's a difference between those two. The Bön direction is the old religion of Tibet. Long before the Buddhism of the Dalai Lama, from Shakyamuni Buddha, came to Tibet, long before there was the Bön religion. And no, what me attracted in the Bön religion was their openness, and they're willing to give the whole teachings directly. While in the normal Buddhism of Tibet, the great the great how do you call that? From the Dalai Lama.
Great teaching.
Yeah. You have to go many years of preliminary practice.
Yeah.
And they told almost nothing about Dzogchen. They kept that secret, you could say. Nobody knows. Most people don't know that there is a Dzogchen teaching in the Tibetan Buddhism.
How come?
Yeah, they kept it. I don't know. You have to start from the bottom up. Make first 100,000 prostrations flat on the ground.
Yeah. Oh.
And come back 3 years later. And that's only one step. And then, and the Bön was much more open.
Yeah.
And willing to give the whole teachings.
Yeah. So in 1995, this awakening happened. Then a logical question always is: Did something change in your life? Did you become a different version of yourself, or did all things stay the same?
Yeah, a lot of things have changed. Yeah. For me, it was not a sudden realization. It was gradual. So, yeah, we talk about this point more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And still, there is a process going on to integrate clarity and openness in every moment.
Yeah.
I see also with the persons who have a sudden awakening, the awakening does not reach every aspect of their life. It can be brilliant, clear in one section of our life, and a stupid fool in forgive me the strong words.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They are unaware in other aspects of their life.
Yeah.
And so the gradual process is for everyone.
Yeah, no exceptions. No people who are and then.
Yeah, there are some people who are at a very young age have a beautiful realization. That's true. It's how fast that is going, the integration process in every aspect of your life and body. It's not predictable. It differs a lot.
Yeah, so it's a difference for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's for us not. It can be interesting, but we don't have to follow the path Michiel Slechte has followed, or we cannot follow the path. Different for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always follow your own path.
Yeah.
And every time you think, I try to follow the path from this direction or that direction, it's a little bit dangerous, because you move away from your own path. And that's so important to every time to find your own knowing.
And how do I know if I'm on the right path? There can be some doubt that you think, well, is this right? Is this the right teacher? Is this the right teaching? Is this the right book? Am I at the right place? Do I have to move to another country? Do I have to move to Canada where there's more nature? You know, all those questions which pop up.
Yeah. And they bring you further.
Well, further into thinking all the time. Yeah.
And I can only teach my own way of realization.
Yeah.
And every teacher can only teach his own way of realization.
Yeah.
And what for me important is, just being aware of this moment, what is happening now, what is true now, and that is what I am. So perhaps we could deepen that today a little bit.
Please.
What is true and what is not true. What comes up when I say that?
What is true and what is not true? We did some talks before in Dutch, and then you told me that no thought is true. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, no. The appearance of a thought is true. And it's the appearance of a story.
I know what I think I know what you're pointing at. Yeah, and that's not the reality right now.
A story is a story.
Yeah.
It's just fantasy
Yeah.
about something.
Yeah, how it could be, or should be, or will
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could play a game now.
Oh, nice. Games are nice. Yeah.
Say something, ask something to me
Mm-hmm.
about what you think is true.
Okay. Like the
Yeah.
work of Byron Katie. We're gonna.
Not
No,
only.
no,
Not
okay,
only, no.
okay,
Yeah,
well-
a little bit.
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you something which is true. Well,
What you think is true? Yeah.
yeah. What I think is true is that I'm too fat. That I have too much weight on my body. Is it true? I don't know. In comparison, when I see a picture of myself of 5 or 10 years ago, you could say, well, that was a thinner version of yourself than you are right now.
Yeah.
Is that something we can deepen?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a story, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. It's a story about I have too much
Weight on my body. Yeah.
weight on your body.
Yeah.
It's when there is no thought about your body.
Yeah.
You are what you are.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong. Yeah. Nothing wrong or right.
Yeah.
It just is. This is the body at this moment.
Yeah. So that's the realization from it is a story about my body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you know that it is a story,
Mhm.
you don't suffer about
No,
it.
that's true. That's true.
You're free,
Yeah.
and you're free to do what you want.
Yeah.
It is not good. It is not bad. Also, both sides are stories.
Yeah.
So you are free from the stories in that realization that it is a story.
Yeah.
And so you are also free to do something about it
Mhm.
or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not being very harsh on myself then.
Yeah.
That is when I look at this camera and I see this back, then the story starts. Then I see myself like, whew. Then I start judging
Yeah.
myself. When I don't see myself, I don't judge myself. So all those mirrors and cameras and pictures people take of themselves,
Yeah.
for me the judging starts.
Yeah.
Self-judging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you only have to notice what is happening.
Mm-hmm. And don't believe it.
Yeah, that's clear seeing. Clear seeing starts with the recognition that it is a story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can deepen that recognition to it is a story, but is there attachment in believing that it is true?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I have done the work of Byron Katie
Mhm.
for many years, and it's a profound teaching to what to identify that every thought is untrue. Every thought has no base in reality. It's just a story.
Yeah.
And then you know a lot about Advaita.
Yeah.
Yeah. and Ramana Maharshi also says my teaching is the teaching of silence.
Mm-hmm.
Being still is enough. And then he talks a lot about no mind. And no mind means, in his teaching, no thought is true. And when you go to the depth of that, you can find that stillness and silence at all times. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it right
Yeah.
now also. But that's a strange thing. When I listen to you or when I'm in a room with you, it's not that difficult to find this underlying sense of peace and stillness and no mind and everything is okay. But yeah, we cannot be in a room with Michiel Slechter all the time. So
Yeah. It's your own stillness, what you feel.
yeah, okay.
So
So how come I feel it when I'm with you and when I'm in a busy supermarket? It's at the back. It's almost gone. I can. It will be there, but I cannot feel it.
yeah, it's that integration process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give us some tools how to stay anchored in this field of unknowing, or how do you want to call it, this field of love, peace? Can we throw out something there that we can reach it all the time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of I call that the bells are ringing with certain sounds. Stillness in a conversation is another bell that wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
When you are busy on the computer screen and then you pause a little, your head goes up. That's also a moment to deepen your stillness.
Mm-hmm.
Stress, when you feel stress, that's one of the most important bells that can wake you up.
Yeah. Because you know that you have to slow down at that moment, or
Yeah. Give attention to what you feel.
yeah.
That feeling wants attention, and the mind, the thinking mind, is the most of the time the first to jump on stress and pain,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the praxis. There's not see what is happening. Eh?
Mm-hmm. Trying to get away from it,
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Want awareness is soft and gentle and friendly and understanding, and you're at ease. Good feelings are coming
Yeah.
together, and it's totally different than the thought process.
Yeah.
The thoughts want to find a solution.
Yeah.
No. Perfect, but wait a little. Yes, feel my pain.
Yeah.
Yes, feel my stress, and aware of what is happening, so your body can come to rest, and then you can use the mind to change something in your perhaps for your body. So I want to lose weight, so
I buy this.
What shall I do?
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting is a very good way to lose weight.
Yeah.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, intermittent fasting. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
How does that work?
That works. You don't eat a breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and the hours wherein you are eating,
Mm-hmm.
you bring it down to 8 hours in a day.
So we should.
So perhaps on 11
a.m.
AM.
Yeah. You start eating until 7 p.m. and that's
7 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
8 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your body gets the signal. I need food. I need food. I
Mhm.
need food.
Yeah.
So your cells, your hormones get sensitive
Mm-hmm.
to the regulation of your food intake.
Mm-hmm.
And when you eat all the day except when you are sleeping, your body gets the signal from it's enough, not more, it's too much. I want to
Mm-hmm.
have a break.
Yeah.
So it gets how do you call that? Distorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about this in our Dutch interview. You have a quite different diet than I have. You are on a raw. It's not a diet, but you eat only raw food.
Yeah.
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 What about food? When I go to the hamburger joint, the McDonald's, and I eat it after 2 hours, I really start feeling dirty. I get this sense about myself.
Mm-hmm.
How come that food gives us so much signals and feelings, and how is that when you only eat raw food? What did that do with you and your body?
Yeah, I do it now 27 years, so I don't know what the difference
No,
is.
yeah. But does it make
it feels good, and it helps me to have a clear mind also.
Yeah.
Clarity is not dependent on the sickness of your body.
Mm-hmm.
You can be clear about when your body gives unclear signals.
Okay.
But you are then clear about unclarity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to be clear about clear.
Yeah. So it's not dependent
Yeah.
on this body. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking when I start eating only vegetables and only raw food, fish, maybe then I will become clear also, more clear.
Yeah. No, it doesn't have to do something with your spiritual practice.
No. But there must be a reason for you.
A little bit perhaps, because you are going in search for. You want to be loving to all and everything.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
So more caring for your body leads automatic to the good diet.
Yeah.
But Byron Katie was huge. Huh?
Yeah.
And after her realization, she became
Thin again. Yeah.
Yeah, thin again. Why is that? Because yeah, it's the same as your house. Your surroundings. You see the beauty of everything. You see the beauty of the most terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you transform your surroundings in more beauty. Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine something about that, what you say. So, your book, you have completed the translation?
No,
Not yet.
No.
Is it difficult to translate a book from Dutch to English? Some teachers tell me, well, but in English there are far more words for this kind of teachings than we have in Dutch. So, how does that work?
Yeah, for me it's also a little bit difficult because my English is not perfect, but I'm very glad I'm translating it myself and not somebody else, because it has to be in the English language for the reader to be maximum. And when you translate it literal,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work many times.
Yeah, it loses its depth.
Yeah. And for the with the help of Google Translation.
You can get very far. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope I get the way of how you set it into written words.
Yeah.
And I hope the poetic way of writing don't get lost in English.
Yeah. And the natural state, is that something that can be reached? Is that something that is always the case? Is it hidden? Is it right in front of me? Where is that natural state, Michiel?
Mm-hmm. It's all about recognizing, eh?
Yeah. You cannot. Can you point to it? Can you say there's the natural state, or here, or is it a taste? How can it be found?
Yeah. Everybody is living in it, but it makes a big difference if you are aware of it or not.
Mm-hmm.
In a technical description,
Mm-hmm.
it is when you are aware of something arising in stillness, then you are aware of the natural state of everything. And that's the oneness of silence and something what is in there.
Mm-hmm.
In the Buddhist teachings we call that form. The oneness of consciousness and form.
Mm-hmm. They're not separate.
They are not separate.
No.
don't know, when we made this appointment, my thoughts are going to this and to that, so what shall we talk about it? And I'm aware of the thoughts are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So the natural state is just being aware of what is.
Yeah.
And I say sometimes consciousness doesn't exist. It's an idea. Forms aren't existing too. What is real? Another word for it, for that union, is this. It's a word pointing to whatever happens. Every sound is a reality.
Tasting the tea, hearing the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color is reality.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts talking about the color and the cup of tea, the thoughts are reality. Making a story about it. There's movement. Movement is a story. The seeing is reality. When you see something or hear something, there's no consciousness. Consciousness belongs to talking about it. The color, seeing the color, is true.
Yeah.
It's only yeah. At the same time, it's a miracle. Yeah. I don't know if it is totally clear, but my mind is sometimes also a grasshopper.
Yeah.
Jumping from this to that, from this
Yeah.
to that, from this to that.
I know where you're pointing at. I think.
Yeah.
So, but that difference from teachings I hear in Advaita, where they say all there is consciousness, and what you are is that consciousness, because in consciousness things can appear. A cup of tea, a lamp, a Michiel, a Patrick.
Yeah.
Does that differ from how you see it?
No. It's the same, but how deep is the understanding of that teaching?
Yeah.
Is consciousness something you can see or hear or or find. No.
No.
It's totally empty, silent,
Yeah.
space.
No form. No.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So still we can go inside and know I am aware of everything.
Yeah.
But what in truth are you aware of? From a knowing, that's a form too.
Yeah.
A knowing, I am aware. Perhaps a thought, I am aware. First the knowing, then the thought, the way of expressing that knowing, but still, you haven't found consciousness itself.
Mm-hmm.
The same with the material world. That doesn't exist in the teaching separate from your awareness. Always is awareness involved to find something solid.
Yeah.
Without awareness, there is no
Solid world. No.
solid world.
No. No.
And that doesn't mean outside the room or another city doesn't exist in reality.
But you have no proof.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that, because everything has its own consciousness. This glass has its own consciousness.
It's also conscious, this glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the one, or the universe, feels itself as glass.
Yeah. It is conscious of itself through glass. Of as glass.
As glass.
As glass, yeah.
As
yeah,
glass.
Yeah.
So when there is no human seeing the glass is still glass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
The one experience itself as the total universe.
Yeah.
There's also a misunderstanding in Advaita many times.
Yeah.
Because they will react every form as non-existence.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit too much of the good thing.
Yeah.
the teaching behind that is that you need to be aware awareness is half of the picture. You can't skip awareness to find only a material world.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness is one with the material world.
Yeah. It needs each other. Or not. It needs each other. So
yeah.
Awareness and the material world.
Yeah. They need each other and they are one. So separate, that's that's what we talk about it. Separate, they don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another dogma from the Advaita world. I'm curious about how you feel and think about it. that's the concept of free will, but more so, let's say that everything that happened until now, from the moment I was conceived by my father and mother, until the moment that I'm sitting in Zwolle right now, in this position, on this chair with you, could this have been otherwise? Or is it exactly how it had to go?
Both are true.
Yeah, it could have been otherwise.
Yes, of course.
But how then? How? What should have? But let's specific.
That's the mystery of life.
Yeah.
So the totality.
Yeah.
Of everything. It's always in the now, but the whole past is also in the now.
Mm-hmm.
So this totality makes that you are sitting there.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm sitting
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and we are talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Is it all coincidence then?
no, it's not coincidence. No. It's
Predestined? Is it, or is it just a flux of life reacting? And what they say when a butterfly flaps with its wings in China, it could have easily transformed into a thunderstorm in America. Are things really that connected?
Yeah, everything is total connected. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you can see ahead what is going to happen.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting and important is that you get a feeling of the how do you call that in English? The
Perfection?
yeah, but perfection is a good word. Yeah, that everything what is real and happening now is perfect. And you can go to that realization at first place. The first step is being still aware of what is, and then in Advaita they have beautiful words, beautiful pointings. They say what you are is being, knowing, bliss.
Satchitananda.
Yeah. Being is the stillness. You fall in stillness, in silence, and you are aware of being.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first step. The second step is knowing. Sometimes it's translated as consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
but knowing is a much more beautiful word for it, much more correct what is really happening. Knowing, awareness is almost the same. Perhaps it is the same. You know when you are when you realize being, stillness, you know what is true and what is not true.
Yeah.
Only believing your thoughts is the untrue side of it.
Mm. Yeah.
The rest, all is true. And then when you have the certainty of knowing, there is bliss. And bliss doesn't mean you have to be very joyous or
happy,
ecstatic. Bliss is a word for being at ease. See the beauty of everything. Feeling free. Happy, joyous, creative, clear.
Yeah, spontaneous. You sometimes
creative.
Yeah.
This is all, and we have in the Dzogchen. There's a great deal of the teaching is about that.
Yeah.
Dzogchen means the great perfection. So it's a teaching about this bliss. So we don't call it bliss. We see that it is everything what you can imagine that is positive and feeling good. That's a part of your realization of knowing.
Being
knowing.
Yeah.
And the bliss part happens spontaneously. That's a result.
Yeah.
You don't have to do special things for that. It's automatically given when you are still and you have that knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Dutch, you sometimes call it undestroyable contentment. Is that what you mean by that bliss? That satisfied, that cannot be destroyed or doesn't need anything to be satisfied. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being is enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Undestroyable content. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you sometimes are nervous or have stress. That's something different. Because when you see the being, when you are still, when you are feeling uncomfortable, when you are still and you are knowing the reality of your feelings and the unreality of your thoughts about it, then the bliss part takes over. So you can be even in great pain and at the same time be undestroyable content.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be in an accident or
Traffic jam.
even dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sometimes see that with people who have surrendered to the knowing that they are going to die. There's total contentment and there's total peace and they're at ease and they transmit a kind of vibe that says everything is okay.
Yeah, everything is okay. Yeah. And how do you know that? I most of the time, this is my second question. Be still, and you know it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still
go to the most terrible place.